So I think we're ready to start now, right? Thank you everyone for joining our webinar today on Tuesday. My name is Inga Harding and I'm your Google Premier Partner at Squalio. In today's webinar, we're going to explain you how Google Workspace can help your business, and we have a special guest joining us today. It's Anna Karanovska. She's working directly on Google, and she will explain a little bit about Google, why it's helpful, why Google Workspace can help your business. And then we will have Eustace, who is our IT infrastructure engineer at Squalio. He will continue to deep dive a little bit more on the security part of Google Workspace. So about Squalio, I will start to explain a little bit that we are a Google Cloud Premier Partner. We are based in Baltics and we're also covering CE region. Squalio brings more than 25 years of experience in managed databases, applications, networking, infrastructure, migration, all the data analytics services to its customers using proven plan, deploy, manage methodology. Squalio vision is to empower our customers through the cloud and to offer the solutions that meet the needs of their business specific. Squalio is a premier partner for Google Workspace and for Google Cloud. So in the next parts, I will tell you a little bit about the benefits of being friends with Google Partner. Squalio can benefit you get on top with tailored needs. So for example, flexible pricing and operations, that's something you can get working together with a partner, which means cost optimization, support in local language. You can have dedicated account manager in the region where you're based, for example, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and there will be certified tech support. We can suggest right solutions for your needs, share best practices, and support you in migration, architectural planning, in any daily technical challenges that you are facing. We are here to support you. And we also have really cool feature. It's the training platform. So we have developed the Squalio Academy, where we provide for our existing clients a Google Workspace solution training for any user, for basic user, for admin level user. So basically you have access to the portal where you can train all your users, all your employees in a company, if they're new to Google Workspace, how to use it, including Gmail, calendar, all the easiest features. And also we are working currently on some workshops together with Google. So this is something cool as well, what we can offer as a partner. And to make it a little bit more exciting today, guys, we have prepared a special prize. In the end of the webinar, we will be happy to give out the little Google swags. We will have 2 Google Nest Mini Generation 2. We will choose randomly our winners, and we will announce them in the end of the webinar through the email or through the LinkedIn, or how you registered to the webinar. We will reach out to you and let you know that you've been the lucky winner of this amazing cool tool. So now, just a quick reminder about the webinar before we kick off. Just want to let you know that you're all muted. If you have any questions and you would like to communicate with our presenters or myself during the webinar, please use the chat box at the lower corner of the screen. We will have some time at the end of the webinar for Q&A session. So make sure to send on your questions and we will try to make sure to answer them all. And now I would like to introduce you to Anna Karanovska, our special speaker from Google. And I will let you go ahead and take it from here, Anna.
Thank you very much, Inga. Welcome, everyone. Good very morning, at least for me, because I'm connecting with you from the headquarters in Dublin. So once again, welcome, everyone. I would like to talk a little bit more today about the Google Workspace and how it can basically benefit your business. I'm the territory manager responsible for the CE market and working with Squalio directly. So as Inga said before, one of the benefits of working with the partners is that's actually Google's business model. So thanks to that Squalio is also well connected with Google representatives we are working closely together. They are very knowledgeable and have the resources to help you with everything. But yeah, let me go back to the presentation. So I would like to shortly start with just giving you the idea about the Google Workspace. Where is it positioned? As this is a part of Google Cloud, which is a part of Google and part of Alphabet. And within Google, we are having also, apart from Google Cloud, the Google Ads organization. And then the big part is also the platforms and ecosystem. So probably well known for you, Chrome, Android, and also devices and services. Here I mentioned Fitbit, Nest, Pixel, but we are having also a lot of equipment that also goes really, really well with Google Workspace, which I'm gonna have to show you also on the separate screen as well. And to start about the Google Cloud. So within the Google Cloud, we are having the Google Cloud Platform. So those are like this four main pillars. And Google Cloud Platform, which means the infrastructure, the solution for data, AI, ML. Then we have a Google Workspace, which we are going to be covering and talking about today, which is the collaboration and office automation tool. We have also identity and access, which helps you to manage, control easily and secure the users. And then we have the mobile and devices. So basically mobile and desktop terminals, which is Android and Chromebooks. So as you can see, just to give you, the idea that actually Google offers the end-to-end solution, starting from the infrastructure, terminals, and ending into the collaboration tools as well. And all of it on the cleanest cloud in the industry. We are very proud to say that because we put a lot of effort and investment to be very sustainable. So at this moment, we are twice as efficient as average from the competitors. And comparing also to 5 years ago, we deliver 7 times the compute power for the same amount of electricity, which is a huge achievement, I believe. We match 100% of electricity use with renewable energy since 2017. And the goal by 2030 is to aim to run 24/7 on the carbon-free energy at all the data centers all around the globe. So the sustainability is there. If you want to give your IT teams and your company sustainable solution, this is definitely the one. And when it comes to Google Workspace, we have at this moment 3 billion users. So every time basically you are using Gmail, you are using Google Chat, Calendar, Drive, or Meet in your daily use, you are basically using Google Workspace. And apart from that, we are also having 8 million paying customers. And those are just the numbers, but for us, it also means that those are the clients who choose to transfer digitally with us, with Google. So they are choosing basically Google for this process of digital transformation. And organizations are choosing Workspace not simply to replace their existing tools, but they are choosing also, by choosing Workspace, they choose to transform also the way they work. And when it comes to our mission and vision, we are meaningfully connecting people so they can create, build, and grow together. So this is something that is deeply in our DNA, to innovate, to help the people. The user is always in the center of attention. which is, I think, very important because when you basically use Google Workspace, you can feel the simplicity, the intuitive way of working. So basically, everything that is created within the Google Workspace is created to make your life and work easier. And when it comes to the companies that have chosen us, these are just a few examples. And just as I mentioned before, by choosing Google Workspace, you are choosing Google to help you transform digitally. So we believe that by choosing our products, you are also choosing to change the culture and the way you're working, because it innovates your culture and it brings people together. It helps you to innovate, to be more productive and to collaborate with your teams more closely. And so what is the Google Workspace actually? Just to give you the idea, so just the simplest plan will have already a lot of application within it. So first there will be the application to connect, which is the Gmail, so the mailing solution, the calendar, chat, Google Meet. This is something that is even in the simplest plan. Then we also have the collaboration tools, which is the documents, the docs, sheets, slides, and forms. And then apart from that, we are also having the Google Admin, the Drive, and Google Search. So those are the applications that you can find even in the simplest plan. And then on top of that, depending on the plan you are choosing, you can get also the app sheet, you can get the Vault, and some additional features that I believe also Eustace is going to be talking about later on. Okay. And right now, I would like to also talk a little bit more about our approach. So as I mentioned before, the user is in the center of our attention when building the product. So when we think about let's say how to describe the product. So first of all, Google Workspace is very simple. It's a very flexible solution. You can create and share documents directly from Google and collaborate with anyone from everywhere, basically. You can open the file anytime, anywhere using the browser on desktop or from the computer or mobile device. And as I mentioned, it's very intuitive, very easy to learn. So also the adoption of the product. This is also a very important part, because many times when we are talking with our clients, when they're using the competitive solutions, like the adoption of the product usually is very, very low. And it's not the case with Google Workspace, because it's much, much easier. So the end user, so all your employees are actually really utilizing the product in the end versus the solutions from the competition. Then the second part, it's the product is very smart. What does it mean? It means that we are implementing newer and newer intelligence solution. One of this is Smart Canvas, which is something very new. These are the construction blocks that you can basically insert people, images, tables, models, project trackers. It really gives a lot of opportunities. Apart from that, we also implement the artificial intelligence throughout the whole Google Workspace. So you can see that while, I don't know, writing the email, there is a smart compose and smart reply. While creating the meeting in the calendar, it actually suggests you the person who do you want to create the meeting with. So there's a lot of AI implemented that basically makes your work easier and faster. And yeah, so all of that makes our work just more productive and easier. And the last one is continuative innovation. This is also something that's it's in the DNA of Google. And what does it mean? It basically means that also we use, for example, improvements such as live subtitles, translations in the meetings, noise cancellations, then possibility to create the meetings directly in docs. Everything can be done basically from the level of one screen of the Gmail. Then being on the call while seeing the person, it's a feature called picture in picture, seeing the person and working at the same time in the document. So continuous innovation, and we are not stopping. The new features are coming in. The roadmap also for this year is very long and interesting. So buying the product, you can be sure that it's going to be continuing innovation, and there will be new features coming in to make this work even more easier and productive. And here I put the slide also to show you shortly the smart canvas. This is I think very interesting new feature. So just with the mention, basically you can also even add the blocks using the third-party solutions. So I don't know, the block connected to the weather forecast, or the block connected to the Google Maps, showing the location. The possibilities are actually really endless. And all of it's also on the secure platform. So security is also the heart of our DNA. I think it's important to mention that the Workspace is based on the same secure infrastructure as the one that we use here at Google. So that means if if the company as Google use it for themselves, it must be very secure, right? Apart from that, we also have the security keys, which is another layer that you can add on the security. And we have the proofs that no Workspace account has been hacked, basically never reported while using this safety keys. And then on top of that, there's another layer, which is the Chrome browser. So basically, if you are using Google Workspace and through the Chrome browser, that's another layer also which you're adding on the security. So all of that putting together, you can be sure that the level of any, let's say, problems, interruptions are really decreased to the minimum. We are having also very interesting comparisons with the competition. I'm actually now said that I didn't add this slide, but it shows just basically how many external attacks are protected by Google versus, and how well we are dealing with the external attacks versus the competition. And yeah, in terms of the benefits, what kind of benefits it can give to your company, right? I think it's very important to mention, according to what I was saying before, so that Google Workspace is very easy, innovative, and that increase the productivity, and also it increased the enjoyment from using the product. So from our let's say survey, we see that and search that the 68% of Google Workspace users are just enjoying much more the work, and as I mentioned, this adoption of the product is also higher, and that means also the higher retention of the engaged employees. Then apart from that, the innovation part, right, that also reflects in the profit growth, because the more innovative the company is, the employees are, the more improvements are happening, and that also can impact directly the profit. And then also the workspace. So when the future workforce, sorry, if you think about it, so many people are using privately Gmail, but then also a lot of students, a lot of young people, right? They use it at school, and that means that those those young generation, when they will be entering basically the work, right, age, they will want to use those kind of products, which are making their work more innovative and more exciting. So that actually means also the access for you for the better workforce, for the bigger workforce in the future as well. And we also, Google Workspace also offer the option for the field employees, and I think it's also important to mention that we have a plan which is called the frontline worker. And it's important to mention because 80% of global workforce are field employees. So the employees who are customer facing, or basically doing anything in the field, and they still, that means that they can still be connected with the rest of the company and work from anywhere on their devices, on their mobile devices. So that's also something I think important to remember about those employees as well. And here are the examples of the equipment and devices that are really well, let's say, integrated with Google Workspace. So we have as well the mobile terminals, Pixel, laptops like Chromebooks, and also very interesting meeting room equipment, which are very well connected with Google Workspace in terms of booking the rooms. So you can create a whole system for booking the rooms in the calendars. The moment you enter the room, you can right away connect through the screen in the room to the meeting that was booked. So that also improves the way of work. And then shortly, I would like to also mention about the plans. So as I mentioned at the beginning, even the most standard and simple plan, which is the business standard, has all the applications, right? Gmail calendar editors, Google Meet, Google Chat. And just to give you the idea, we have here's the business group of offerings, and those are those three plans: Business Starter, Business Standard, and Business Plus. They are differentiated by the size of the storage, then the size of the users that can join the meetings, and also some additional features. Of course, the higher plan, also the security features are being added as well, like Vault, like PDL in the enterprise standard, like Cloud Identity Premium, like mobile endpoint mobile management, and so on and so forth. But about that, Justas is going to be talking a little bit more, so I will leave it for him. This is also the enterprise offering. So just to give you the idea what kind of plans we have, and the range of the prices. But of course, as Squalio mentioned before, they have very elastic pricing. They work together with Google, with myself, on preparing the offerings. So if you are interested, please reach out to them, and I'm sure they will be able to offer you something interesting. And that being said, that's all from me. Thank you very much, and I will pass it to Justus.
Thank you, Anna. So we'll have now Justus presenting more on the security features. Justus, our IT infrastructure engineer in Squalio. So Justus, feel free to connect.
Thank you, Inga, and hello, everyone. My name is Justus, and today I will be talking about Google Workspace security features. I will cover different tools such as DLP, Google Vault, endpoint management, and cloud identity, as well as the best security practices to protect your Google Workspace. So, as Anna mentioned, Google can offer you different plans to best suit your business needs. On the left side, you can see features that Google Workspace offers, and to the right, you can see which plan includes that feature. So let's have a look into these features right now. With Google Workspace, you can enforce stronger password policies to better protect your users and your data. This will require users to set longer and more complex passwords, as well as it won't let users to reuse their old passwords. So some sort of additional security. You will also be able to see to set how often users should be changing their passwords. Another layer of security is context-aware access. For those that you don't know what it is, basically this feature allows administrators to manage access based on certain conditions. With context-aware access, it is possible to manage access from certain networks, certain devices, or geographic locations. For example, if administrator has configured that it is possible to gain access only from managed device, all devices that are not managed by the company will not have access to the resource. Moving on, the geographic location selection feature allows you to select where you want your data to be stored. For example, your business is in multiple regions, therefore storing data in one region is not always practical. In the event where you would need to access critical information from a backup that is in another region, it would take more time to reach it as it is stored further. In addition to that, sometimes law requires that your data must be stored in the same region as your business is. With this feature, you can accomplish this requirement with ease. As most of the security breaches comes from the emails, Google has something to offer in order to combat that. There's a great feature called Security Sandbox, and it is a feature that acts as a safe environment that scans and executes mail attachments that can contain viruses. For example, if attachment contains a virus or other malware, it will not be delivered to user's inbox, therefore preventing user from opening infected file and losing any sensitive information. However, if the file is safe, it will be delivered to user's mailbox. Then another feature from Google Workspace is a Security Center. So Security Center is where administrators are able to proactively prevent any security threats. Security Center also has a health page where administrators can have an overview or get suggestions based on Google's best security practices. Another addition to Security Center is Investigation Tool. Basically, it helps to identify issues, security issues within the domain, as well as break down threats that are targeting users, devices, or your data. Investigation tool will also allow administrators to take bulk actions in order to limit impact of the threats. Next up, I would like to cover a little bit about the data loss prevention. So, we all know that it is essential to take all measures to protect your data. Google Workspace has data protection rules to prevent any data loss. There are predefined content detectors for sensitive information such as credit card numbers, tax files, and such. A good example is, for example, when you are typing an email and you try to share a credit card number. The LP rule detects and prevents you from sending this data, as you could probably lose this data somewhere. Like if you got an email from, let's say, a scammer, that pretends to be someone else, and then you just try to share this data. So data loss prevention rules kind of intervenes in a way, and you don't lose any data. Also, it is possible to create custom rules with custom keywords to better suit your needs. There is another feature of DLP rules that is called OCR, or optical character recognition. Basically, it scans documents for any sensitive data in the matter of like you are trying to share something with external, and for example, the rules are not configured. Well, the rules are configured to prevent that. Also, to reduce false positives, administrators can define content thresholds. And here is how it works in Google Drive. So, as mentioned earlier, administrator defines a rule, then the DLP scans documents for triggers. If the trigger is found, DLP enforces administrator-defined actions, and administrator is being notified about the incident so that the further actions can be done. For example, educate your organization users that it's not okay to do it like that. You should do it the other way around, and so on. It is also working similarly in a Gmail as well. Content is being scanned, and if a trigger is found, rule prevents possible data loss. Now let's talk a little bit about Google Vault. So what is this Google Vault, and why you should use it? Basically, Google Vault is an archiving solution that archives information from Google applications such as Gmail, Drive, Meet, Chat. Once this data is archived, it can be found in the e-discovery tool. You might want to ask why to use it. Well, since no business is immune, and sometimes you need to back up your words in legal matters, this is where a Google Vault comes in handy. It will enable you to search for the information to back up your arguments in a lawsuits or other legal matters. As mentioned before, it's a tool for archiving, but besides that, Google Vault can act as a tool to enforce data retention policies. For example, sometimes it is required by law to keep certain documents for a specific time. With Google Vault, you can be sure that data is kept safe for the specified period. After the specified period is over, data can be automatically deleted depending on how the retention policy is configured. The next topic that I would like to cover is endpoint management and cloud identity. So, Google Cloud Identity, what is that? It is a product that provides digital identity service and endpoint administration. For easier understanding, it is users, applications, various devices, and security measures management tool. And the best part, all managed from one place in Google Admin Console. So you don't have to run around and just, search there, search there. It's all really easy to access in one place. As for the device management, Google has different plans to offer to best suit your needs. As we can see from the picture here, Google has different features included in a different plan. So whatever suits you best, Google has it covered. With endpoint management, you can easily manage Windows devices. You can set up a login to Windows with your Google credentials. Also offers enhanced security management, such as user administrative permission level, automatic updates of the Windows, BitLocker configurations, and so on. Not to forget applying of custom Windows settings. Administrator can also manage inventory and perform administrative actions such as data wipe from the device. Now, a little bit more about that. as I mentioned already, administrators can perform certain actions on the devices, and one of them is device wipe. In case device is lost or stolen, administrators can wipe the device in two ways. So wipe a device, basically it removes both work and personal data applications from the device, or administrator basically can just wipe an account that will only remove your work data and applications from the device, but your personal information on the Windows machine will not be affected. Also with Google Workspace, it is simple to manage iOS devices. Administrators can restrict the copy paste on data that belongs to Google Workspace account. Also, administrator can prevent corporate data exfiltration to personal accounts and restrict users from dragging and dropping files from the specific applications within the Google Workspace. For additional protection layer of mobile devices, administrators can issue digital certificates for these devices so that the corporate resources would be accessible. When those devices are not connected to corporate networks, for example, while traveling abroad and having no reception. And then for easier device management, Google have implemented rules. We have few predefined rules, but to better suit everyone's needs, administrators can define their own custom rules for seamless device management. Here we can see that administrator basically can start from blank template and then do whatever he or she prefers for the devices as per security requirements, or administrator can use a couple of predefined rules and customize them a little bit, so of course that would suit their needs a little bit better. The last topic I would like to cover is the security measures to protect Google Workspace environment. As we all know, security is one thing that cannot be overlooked. We have made a short list of most important measures that every single administrator must implement within their environment. So I think the most common and easiest is to enforce two-step authentication and monitor enforce and monitor strong password policies. Then, of course, using context-aware access where possible. And it is crucial to increase phishing awareness within your company, as most of the data loss happens through the phishing attacks. Also, don't forget to do regular audits of Google Workspace and manage access based on Google's recommendation. That is where you provide only the required access to do the specific job, and don't overshare the permissions for the users. And the last, oh, sorry, I missed one. Also, keeping an eye on security health recommendations daily is also a must, because I think this is updated like twice a day. So just in case there are some issues with your configuration, or there's some security health problems, it will tell you. And probably the most important thing to do is implement Google's best practices security checklist. So a little bit more on that checklist. Well, Google has prepared a checklist based on the organization size to implement for each administrator. So this security checklist can be found on Google by searching Google Security Checklist. And as I mentioned, depending on organization size, select appropriate checklist and make sure to implement the most secure solution. I would like to thank you today for participation. And now I will pass on to Inga to wrap up our session.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Eustace. That was really insightful, really great to see how good security Google Workspace can offer, and absolutely loved as well Anna's part about Google not just being as a great collaboration tool and everything, but it also creates a great culture in the company, and it's super easy and cool to use. Thank you everyone for joining our webinar with our special guest from Google as well, Anna, and thank you, Eustace, for sharing your great part of the presentation. And I would like to encourage you all to watch out for the recording on our Squalio YouTube channel. And we will also, after this webinar, send out survey in your email, and we would really appreciate your feedback that you might have regarding the webinar, and ask that you please fill it out in the end. Also, we have a little teaser to share with you guys that we will have more webinars coming soon, and it will cover absolutely different topics regarding Google Cloud, different industries which Google can be really great at. Some information for startups, top unicorns in Baltics, since we have a lot of them. And so just stay tuned, and we're looking forward to see you on our next webinars. Thank you everyone for joining, and thank you for our great speakers today.